Radio 2. We got Greensboro Sports Radio 1, Greensboro Sports Radio 2. It's like ESPN 1, ESPN 2, and like Fox Sports 1, Fox Sports 2. Dennis White 1 in the house. Good to see you, Dennis.
Hey, Andy, good to see you. Always a pleasure to see you.
It's been a wild and busy show, wild and busy day, man. Wild and busy all over the place. Good to have you in. And let's go right to Dennis and Panthers and Southeast. Take us back 1 week, what you saw out there last Friday. Let's get your impressions.
Yeah, what I saw is first quarter, outstanding ball game. When you look at the first quarter, when you look at how Southeast scored on a circus catch over the Dudley Panthers, Southeast defense was stopping Dudley Panthers. Dudley Panthers couldn't get anything going the first quarter alone. The best back in the state of North Carolina only had 7 yards. They held Cornell Young to 7 yards. Hooker threw 3 incomplete passes. So now it's looking like Southeast is going to dominate Dudley Panthers. But when Southeast began to make a couple of mistakes, Dudley defense got in gear. You said it to me. When Dudley defense catch on with what Southeast is doing, it's going to be a totally different
Just
ball
like the
game.
good old days.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah.
And then one of the things that I love Dudley on that read option, Hooker is the best. He's sensational. 7-yard touchdown on the second drive for Dudley
He took that one up the middle.
He took it straight up the middle, faked it, put it in the belly of Young, took it out. Now we have a 7-7 ball game. Southeast tried to start a little pass game, incomplete passes, and you and I both said, stick with your running game, trying to force something with Dudley. They went to the pass because the pass worked from the first time.
Yeah, it did.
And so we seen a few drops. When you and I saw those few drops, then now, Andy, Dudley get the ball back. Now, Cornell Young switch from 7 yards to the 300-yard man that in the 4 or 5 touchdowns. So the game got wide open after the second half. The second half, Dudley came out.
It means he was averaging around 100 yards a quarter over the last 3 quarters. He had 305 for the game, right?
Yes.
And then he had 7 in the first. He's almost like a 100 yards a quarter after that.
Yeah, and that's amazing because you stop a guy 7 yards. They was keying on him, but what Dudley did was a great thing. They brought in Simeon Gatlin.
Yep.
When they brought in Simeon Gatlin, that loosened up.
Spread that field out a little
Spread
bit.
that field out. You said it, buddy. You said it. When they spread that field out, Simeon Gatlin opened things up. Sometimes your premier back have to get set up by another back because nobody was keen on Simeon Gatlin. They didn't know anything about number 4 because that week, the week before, when Perkins went out, Ezra Perkins went out, you said it to me beginning of the game that Simeon Gatlin is going to get the call, and I said to you that he's one of the most athletic guys on that team.
And some people feel like, I read some stuff this week around the state, some people in different parts of the state feel like he may be the number 2 best cornerback or defensive back in the state, number 2 defensive back in the entire state.
And I agree. When we look at
he's been a man on the move, hasn't he?
He really have. He's very athletic. And then when you look at that Dudley team, and I get back to the part of that game, when you look at Dudley's team, they have every position on Dudley's team, that's a talent guy. Then not only that, when he leave out, another talent guy.
Because last week when Simeon, he was playing on both sides of the ball, making some long runs. He got a little winded, as Joe Serra was here earlier, Joe with the News Record said, he got a little gassed, got a little winded. He came out, they came back with number 20, Adrian Chapman. He got some work again. And occasionally Maynard will get some work. They got a lot of options on that Dudley team. I mean, Cornell Young is definitely, he's the horse. He's the man, but those other guys, some good things to choose from for Dudley.
Yeah, you're right. And we seen Maynard in the third game that when we saw Dudley, he was sensational, and he got hurt, and when he got Durham Hillside, absolutely on end around a halfback pass, and he went down. Man, we thought he was out the way he hit the ground. But back to the Southeast game, ended that second half. Dudley have shown in the last 2 weeks they are a top second half team to contend with. Right. And whenever you are tough in the second half, you always say your word, I'm going to steal your baseball term, closer or closer. You got to finish what you start. So many times we've seen teams and they didn't quite finish the way that we anticipated, but Dudley have finished teams off in a great fashion. That second half.
You go to that page, Dudley game 13-7, Dudley at the half, and nothing after that. They went at 49-7. You go to that page, go to that Dudley Southeast game. 6-0 Southeast in one quarter, final 49-6.
Right.
Amazing.
And you was almost like a boxing referee. You gave that first round to Southeast.
They what? I told Joe Sir earlier during that, I said, when they redo the football guidelines, Southeast, if they've got to vote, Coach Fritz wants to vote for one quarter games. Just play. I'm not saying disrespectfully, just saying it kind of thinkingly. Hey, let's just play one quarter. We got 6. Let's go home.
Yeah.
But there's more to it than that, unfortunately.
Yeah. And the thing that that's very great what you said, because the first quarter Southeast dominated.
Yeah, I tell you, look, I just a great idea, Andy. Andy's back with some more. I've had some tonight. End of the first quarter, the players don't go.
No,
they go.
No, they go full.
Quarter.
Yeah,
they never go.
Right.
If we did that, I could have gone home early quite a few weeks. We always did this when we came out there. Fourth quarter, we don't go. You know how that is.
Yeah, absolutely. When you put up the 4 fingers, that means you have to go all the way.
I thought back when I was young, I thought we were the only team in the world that did that. Then I found out later, a lot of people do.
A lot of people, absolutely. And the thing that's so fascinating about that game, when Dudley defense fastened down Nigel Peel and he was all over the field. That is a kid that I talked to you because you
He was
always
running back and forth all the way across.
all the way
field.
across. He learned how to laterally, horizontal.
He's starting to pick up on some of those old Chris Register syncrasies. He's kind of doing some of the things Register did back in the day.
Absolutely. And the thing that have set Dudley defense apart, other than that that game that they lost against Richmond County, Dudley defense has been sensational. They stopped the Page team, Stonewall, stopped them cold. And then they stopped the Southeast running game, even though Baldwin was back this week.
He was
with Dudley.
back. He sure was.
It didn't really mean anything because Dudley front defensive line, and you can get him. They don't say anything about the secondary. When we talk about the secondary, when you look at Seagraves, when you look at Miles White, Simeon Gatlin, and then you bring in McCain the third, those guys get burned one time a game. One time a game. You're going to get them one time a game in that defensive back. Southeast did it. Page did it.
Yeah.
But after that, they shut them down.
They adjust.
That shut them down. And so Dudley offense rose to the occasion. Cornell Young for the second week in a row was sensational. He ran as a man possessed. His longest run that he had, that 78-yard run, and they stopped him right at the 5-yard line?
Right around there, yeah.
And after that, it was all Cornell Young's show.
Do you see him stepping his game up another notch or two since the playoffs are coming on now?
Oh, yeah, a senior knowing that this is it for you. And as you said, Andy, 5-game season now.
It's a new year.
This is it. You lose one, you're in the locker room, cleaning off.
Hate to turn in those uniforms.
Yeah, cleaning off your cleats.
If I were going to, I would want to turn mine in dirty or rotten, smelly, sweaty. They always say, clean your uniform, turn it in. Sometimes they let you turn them in, I guess, dirty. If they clean them at the school. But, man, usually you got to get that stuff cleaned up, turn it in. And, man, when you lose, like, get out of here, man.
When I was at Smith, that was the worst time to go into the locker room, is when you lose. No consolation, no encouragement for the guys. They just throw the uniforms in.
Yeah, walk out.
And walk out. And sometimes, on the
That's
ride
when you don't
back.
want to be the equipment manager, right?
Right. And for so long, the equipment manager was Mr. Mebane, and he used to always say, fellas, just throw them anywhere. We lost this. Go ahead, because they're going to do it anyway.
Yeah.
So you can't control it. But the thing that Dudley did well, Andy, they maintained their composure.
They did.
They did not get rattled. They stayed the course.
They did it on the field.
They did it on the field.
Yeah.
You're absolutely right. For 4 quarters. For 4 quarters. Minute by minute. And Andy, going into that game, one of the things we talked about in the pregame was the statistics of Young as well as the quarterback Hooker. When you look at their numbers, and I've talked to Joe Sierra, the halftime guest, those two guys' numbers
Let me give you the numbers right now. This will blow you away. And if anybody gets to hear this later,
raised all the way up.
This is it. Total offense for Hendon Hooker, 2,451 yards. 2,451. Total offense for Connell Young, 2,450 yards. 1 yard.
1 yard difference.
That's almost 5,000 yards between the two.
Between those two.
Almost 5,000 between two players.
And when you look at those two
24-51,
guys,
24-50.
when you look at both of those guys, they are so capable of having a 4 or 5 touchdown night easily, hand down easily. And one of the things that you and I talked about, Hooker is now finding his rhythm.
Yeah.
Sometimes quarterbacks, as we talk about
It helps when
baseball,
you got a guy like Connor Young because they start to focus on him. It opens up things for Hooker.
Open up
you
things
mentioned that
for
read
Hooker.
option. He sees the read.
That's exactly right. And 3 things out of that read option that Hooker can do. He can run it off the young, he can keep it himself, or he can pass it.
Sure.
And so you don't know what he's going to do. And I talk about the 3 bigs for a quarterback: good vision. Hooker have outstanding vision, and he have good decision making, and he have great velocity on that ball. If Hooker only threw that interception that you and I witnessed, one of the witnesses throwing 1 interception, 2 interceptions out. Anthony Badgett got him,
Number
and
24?
then Badgett got him, and then Page. Did he throw one in that Page game?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. So when he throw the ball, he's going to throw it away too short, or it's going to be a touchdown.
Sometimes you'll throw it too long.
Too long,
exactly.
yeah,
Sometimes
you
on
have
the
too much on
ground,
it.
though.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. But the receivers for Dudley, they
Brandon
are-
Pearson Boyd and Demattis Gilmore love to get their hands on that ball.
Yes. And Demattis Gilmore, he run the best slant route, the best curl route, because he'll go 6 yards and curl back in his wide body, or either he'll come across that slant and Hooker hit him in stride. Several times Hooker hit him in stride, and a couple times he overthrew him.
A couple times he was in stride, just overthrew him. And then one time he hit him in stride, and they brought the ball back because of a penalty. Yeah, they've got a lot of talent. Let's switch gears real quickly here.
Yes.
Playoffs got 10 teams in.
Yes.
10 in by Friday night at 10:30. 10 in by Friday night at 10:30. How many left?
And I'm going to have to go out on a limb because I always call the casualties. I think Gifford County will break even. I think we're going to have 5 and 5.
5 and 5.
5 and 5.
That's what the CarolinaVarsity.com on our website said. They said 5. I was thinking maybe 6.
Okay, who you had out in what?
The teams I had Dudley would be in,
Okay.
Page be in,
Okay.
Hubbard Andrews in, Southern
Okay.
Guilford in.
Okay.
I had Southwest Guilford in.
Okay.
And also I had Northern Guilford in.
So Southern Gifford over Southern Lee.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
That's a good one. And then also you just said Southwest over Watauga.
Number 8
and
versus
9.
number 9. At
Yeah,
Watauga.
8 and 9.
Coach Tommy Norwood told me Saturday afternoon at Guilford College. They gave him that game matchup. He said, I think Southwest Guilford's going to beat those. I said, I'll see what Coach Norwood, see if he's right, and that's what I'm going with. Yeah.
And the old ball coach, I got wisdom, man. And so then we're looking at Northwest and Garner Magnet. Garner Magnet.
I got Garner winning that one.
Yeah,
Northwest
they
in the
went in
middle of
that
the
one.
slide, yeah.
Yeah. And Andy, are you surprised? You and I talked about on Saturday and Sunday when we talked on the phone of the seedings. One team in particular, Northern Gifford.
Yeah.
They're in a no man's land. They've never.
Sometimes they play better than when the cards are stacked against them. Their back's against the wall, you might say, or against the window, the glass. Sometimes they play their best football. I hope they can. I hope they do what we talked about last week of so many games. I hope they just get that ball to CJ. CJ, I'm going to give you the ball. When you're done, take it home with you. But just keep going. Don't go home yet. I'm going to give you the ball. When you finish, take it home with you. But don't go home yet.
Absolutely.
We're on the road. Don't go home yet.
Yeah, he's had a great season. He's had an outstanding season.
And he usually picks it up toward the end.
Yeah, most definitely. And one of the things about a runner like C.J. Freeman, as well as a runner.
Yeah, I want Timmons to kick it in there too, because it's just like with Dudley. When Young's running like crazy, opens things up for Hooker. For Northern, when CJ's running like, give it, let the read option go with Timmons, stick it in his gut, put out Timmons, take off down the field, up the middle. You use that, split this thing wide open. Use them both. Use both those guys.
Yeah, that's exactly right, because we saw in the second half when we did that Northern game, when Timmons got Eastern Elements, when Timmons got going, spread things out, because C.J. Freeman, everybody's going to kill him 3. But you spread it on that read option, have the good vision, have that, you've got to read that linebacker. And one of the things Herndon Hooker does well, he read the linebackers, and you've got to maybe read the linebackers. Look at how Richmond County beat Dudley in the read option. They stole absolutely in the defense. Yeah. They read it well.
You look at Dudley, number 1, Hooker, number 5, Young. Look at Northern, number 3, Freeman, and number 10, Timmons, and you turn those guys.
Turn those
Page,
guys
number
loose.
15. Mr. Will Jones, number 15. Look at old DeAndre
Big
Overton.
number 1, big 14.
Yeah, 14.
And then
Look
big
at,
number
big
1.
Javon Leake. Javon Leake had 200 yards and 4 touchdowns last week. Big week against Southern Alabama.
Big week, and I know he said this is not Dudley, so I'm gonna have a.
Yeah, he said this is going to be Leak week this week.
Yeah, absolutely. And Andy, when you go ahead, you was calling
Just say
out
your
one.
final thoughts. You said 5 in, 5
Yeah,
out.
5 in and 5 out. And
But look at what you got a thought on something there, don't you? Got a thought there?
yeah. When you look at Northern Gifford against Corinth Holders, what I've never heard of that team. What type of?
They're down in Wendell, North Carolina.
Okay,
Reed.
okay.
They're fairly new school, maybe
That's what I was
within
gonna
the
say. I've
past
never
10
heard of them.
years,
Right.
5 to 10 years. But I think they come out of the same mold. The guys like Wilson Fike, Wilson Hunt, same mold as those guys.
All right, yeah, because that was the only one that I haven't heard of or seen all years. I haven't seen this particular
So you
team.
like Page, by the way, at home tomorrow night. Page at Lumberton,
Yes,
Page versus
yes,
Lumberton. Page,
yes.
you like Page. I know you like Dudley.
Yes.
Hop with Andrews, you like
Yes.
them, probably win the whole state championship.
Yeah, absolutely.
Southern Guilford at home against you like Southern Guilford.
Like Southern Gifford.
I like them for a couple weeks. It's going to be tough if they have to go to Eastern Alabama.
Yeah, it's going to be tough if they have to visit them again.
I like that Southwest Guilford at Watauga. I've been picking against Southeast Guilford or Southwest
For a
picking against
while.
Cowboys a couple weeks. All of a sudden they made a blitz, and now I hope they carry it through and win again tomorrow night.
You're right, and Coach Rainey and his son, they're doing a great job.
Sharon Rainey's doing great.
They're doing a great job.
I got Coach Rainey and Coach Gillespie battling for Coach of the Year.
That's a good battle.
Battle.
That's a very good battle because, as you said, during the summer we had ridden Gillespie. Well, I mean, talking to me personally, I had ridden Page off. I didn't think they was going to be as dominant. Hey, 1-0, 2-0, 3-0, 4-0, 5-0, 6-0,
Right down the road.
until they met the Dudley Panthers.
But what about the Southeast at North Davidson?
That's going to be a good one. North Davidson. I'm glad that Tuggle is the guy.
Shy Tuttle, he's
Shy
in Tennessee
Tuttle.
now.
I'm glad he's gone.
Yeah.
We glad Shy Tuttle is gone. So North Davidson will win that ball game.
What about Northwest and at Garner, playing the Garner Magnet? It's the same Garner team we saw face Page in state championship. Not the same people, but the same school.
Same school.
Only they bought a big magnet, stuck it out in front of the flagpole. They got a magnet in it. They got a magnet. Okay, you guys got a magnet. Congratulations. What do you think about that game?
Yeah, the hands down. Northwest had the window way down. Northwest started out on fire, but once people started picking up on Hennigan and the passing game, it did not produce like the new ball coach wanted it, and their defense has not been the strongest
One guy
defense.
stepped up some to Trey Turner.
Trey Turner,
Hennigan's had to do a bunch of different things. Trey
Right.
Turner's become a more valuable receiver for Northwest here in the late weeks of this season.
Yeah, most definitely. He has become the safety valve for the quarterback. Trey Turner with his athletic
Cameron
ability.
Cloud's been quiet. What happened to Cloud? I haven't seen much out of Cloud lately.
Haven't heard much out of him at all.
What about switching gears? What Eastern Guilford Havelock? What about those guys?
Eastern Gifford and Havelock. Chris already has predicted Havelock to
They're on lock.
one of his choices. Gifford Eastern not going to have enough for Havelock.
No chance. What about
chance
High
for
Point
Havelock.
Central on the road?
High Point Central, Coach Jones, we respect him well, but they'll be one and done. They'll be one of those casualties that'll be coming back on the Gifford County bus after tomorrow night.
Changing gears a little bit, but what about the Tar Heels and Clemson, the ACC championship game? Is that going to happen, and who's going to be the dominant team there?
I'm with Chris and Don. We all Tar Heel men. We know you bleed red and white. You're Wolf Pack, man.
And Maroon, too. Guilford
And
College.
Maroon, Guilford College.
Gilbert's having
You're
a great
right.
year.
You
I
are
like Guilford.
absolutely.
Yeah. But you're going with Carolina
I'm telling you.
to be in that championship game
Yeah,
against Clemson.
absolutely. Dr. Pepper down at.
That looks like an orange shirt tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. You know,
Dabo
either-
Sweeney White coming tonight.
Look, you know, either I'm a South Carolinian, but Clemson, no way. I've always been a Gamecock man. Moved to North Carolina Tar Heels all
But
the
you
way.
do feel like the Tar Heels are going to make it to that title
absolutely,
game.
most definitely. Tar Heels finally getting love after you beat a team like Duke. Duke had a great. I had no idea we was going to beat Duke, score 66. If I'd have told you that Thursday sitting here, Andy, we're going to score 66 points on Duke, you would have sent me down to Moses.
I would have thought you'd just come back from the World of Beer next door, that new building. I thought you just came back from there. That's what I would have thought. And I hope you didn't.
Absolutely. Like I had too much on the cheer wine. You know, I
Absolutely.
didn't sell it too long. But and Carolina is playing great ball. This is the year that everybody was thinking that was going to be 3 years ago when Ebron and his team were there. And now they bench. You take a good quarterback teach him a lesson, put him on the bench the first game, bring him back in, and look what he's done now.
Quite well.
He has
Reese Williams
exceeded beyond expectations.
So exceed beyond the matchup, Clemson and North. Will the Tar Heels beat Clemson? You think is there enough to beat them in the championship? That's the number one team in the country.
Yeah, number one team in the country. I don't think we could beat Clemson Tigers right now. I don't think
Clemson's number one.
Yeah, Clemson's number one. Clemson is playing the best ball right now that a team can play. To be number one in the ACC, you know, Clemson has really surprised a lot of people. I had no idea Dabo Swinney, because, you know, think about it. A couple of years ago, they was talking about Dabo Swinney getting out the door. And now even Chris Reschker, we talked to him. He was still going, and we talked to the big man from Grimsley.
DJ Reader. He was on TV last Saturday night. So
he wasn't for sure because Clemson was going down.
Got it together.
And that you said, Dabo Swinney, and you and I talked about that same conversation. Ron Rivera, he was on the chopping block. And look at him now. I guess when you put coaches on the Fedora, he was almost on the chopping block.
He was.
So it's something about that chopping block.
What about, would you still expect to see the Heels versus Clemson in
I would love that. And
will you buy a ticket to that game?
Yeah, I want to buy a ticket to get one from you. I would certainly like to go to that game.
I talked to Mayor Vaughn the other day. She said she may have a bus going down, but it's headed down to Raleigh again toward the Central Prison, unfortunately. Carolina Panthers 9-0 next.
Yes.
They are 9-0 next.
Yes.
They're going to beat the Tennessee Titans.
Going to beat the Tennessee Titans. Have a great team.
Scary game.
That's going to be a good game. When you look at the Green Bay Packer game, you and I talked about that last week as well. The defense of the Panthers is turning it up, tearing it up. Because I didn't think it was going to stop
Chris.
Aaron
Good luck tomorrow
Rodgers.
night. Chris Walls are in the house, headed to the road. Big game tomorrow night over at High Point.
Yeah, I didn't think they was going to stop Aaron Rodgers like they did.
I'll tell you that most of the game, but it seemed like the same, kind of like a repeat, like watching the old movie from the week before, just changed the quarterbacks. The week before, Andrew Luck got hot in the same way. They came back, took it to overtime. Then this past week, Aaron Rodgers and the Packers, you didn't think they'd stay cold, but they got warm, and they came back on the Panthers. Yeah. Can the Panthers keep finishing off games like they have been and survive, and can they keep winning against Tennessee?
Not in the NFL. You can't keep expecting end of the game heroics to happen, because look at now, when you look at the Panthers, each week that they've lost, their offense went over and they gave the opposing offense time and room to score on the defense. Because if you go three out with 7 minutes in the game and your defense is gassed,
you're still saying that for the most part. The cardiac cats aren't done yet.
No, they're not done yet.
After this
but
week.
You cannot afford to continue to wait to the 3 minutes of a ball game, giving all your fans heart attacks, and you pulling the game out. Some team will stop it.
But they're not going to lose this week.
No, this
Tennessee.
week we're going with
Tennessee.
This week we're going with the Panthers again.
I'll tell you, Kuechly had a big pick late in the game and Cam Newton had a big pick late in the game too. Only he threw it to the wrong team.
Sure, he threw it to the wrong guy. And then I didn't understand why would you throw the ball, but that's Ron Rivera
throwing it down there where you were.
Throwing the ball, run it.
How about to close out that with Dennis? Went to Northwest Guilford today. Wished you could have been there, but I know your schedule busy, and mine was so busy that I'm surprised I got there myself. Already got that video downloaded. It was just a crazy day. But Northwest Guilford had the sun. We had Barber, we had Tony Tucker, we had Morgan Pointer, all put the ink to the line today for their colleges. Had the big sign today. It's at the website right now.
Yeah, where are they going? Where is
well, Barbara had declared last year she's going to Campbell. And then Pointer's going to Gardner-Webb. And Tony Tucker going to Catawba. All those Northwest Guilford girls, those three locked it down today.
Right, and that is awesome when you look at what they've done last year.
Oh, and what they have yet to do this year coming up.
Yeah, they
better get it done, man. This is the year.
This is the year. We went over to Winston-Salem and a team that, oh my God, and that team that they faced from Charlotte.
Myers Park.
Just ran. Coach Dolly and Joyner girls didn't have a chance from the opening tip until the game. Yeah, that was a rough game. And saw where so many guys from Westland had signed already. And we know one going to Wake Forest, where his dad was, Randolph Childress' son. And the big signing of them all, we talked to Joe Sierra about, it was no surprise where Harry Giles was
going to Duke.
Going to Duke. Yeah, I knew that he was going to stay local. And one of the things we have to congratulate all of our kids, a lot of kids are staying local in North Carolina.
Yeah, they are. But you look at Barber going to Campbell and Tucker going to Gardner-Webb and Tucker going to Catawba and Porter going to Gardner. All those Northwest Guilford girls going to in-state schools.
Going to in-state schools. And I was surprised. Only one I'm surprised is Pointer. I thought that she would go to nothing wrong with. Yeah, I thought she'd go somewhere.
Great rebounder, but she's not extremely tall. And it's funny because you look at this, Haley Barber's got that real beautiful smile, great little kid Haley. You got Pointer, who's got kind of a sheepish grin, not real outgoing, a little bit. And then you got Tucker, who's just mischievous as she can be. You got to love that Tony Tucker, got to love that Morgan Pointer. Got to love, all those girls are different in their own ways. That's what makes that a better team. And they're not alike at all, but they're great together.
Right. And I'm going to use my word when I'm talking about the sales, but they know how to gel together. When they get together, they are unstoppable. They have the best persona. They come over. Haley Barber has become a face of Greensboro sports, her and her family. We just love the camaraderie of all of our kids, and they look forward to seeing Greensboro sports on location, and they just so happy always to be around.
Wait till you see Ralph Kitley's daughter, 6'4", 6'5" in the 9th grade. Ralph Kitley, the principal's daughter.
Ooh,
it's gonna be something, man.
It's gonna be something. Darby Jordan is happy.
Dennis, I think you're happy.
Yes, sir.
You're always happy when you come to Shane's, so doubt about that.
Always. This is a happy spot. This is the place to put your happy face on.
We're going to visit with James and Nathan real quick.
Yes.
2-minute warning. Got the